the Atlantic Ocean, a vast expanse of deep, dark blue water. Beautiful, but unforgiving. Between the shores of Miami, the island of Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, stretches an invisible triangle on every map. Its area covers roughly 500,000 square miles of ocean. Its name is the Bermuda Triangle, also called the Devil's Triangle, a place that has swallowed ships and aircraft for over a century, vanished without a trace. No wreckage, no bodies, no clear distress call. So is it a curse, a portal to another world? Or does science have a simpler, more terrifying explanation? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what science says is happening inside this triangle and why the ocean refuses to give back what it takes. The term Bermuda Triangle didn't even exist until 1964, when writer Vincent Gaddis coined it in his book Invisible Horizons, True Mysteries of the Sea. But the stories that built the legend started long before that. December 5th, 1945. 2:10 in the afternoon, Fort Lauderdale Naval Air Station, Florida. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers take off on a routine training mission. Its name is Flight 19. On board, 14 of the U.S. Navy's most skilled pilots. The leader is Lieutenant Charles Taylor. He had 2,500 hours of flight experience. The mission was simple. Fly east for 120 miles, conduct practice bombing, then head north, then southwest back to base. 2 hours and done. But after an hour and a half, the control tower receives a strange message from Taylor. He says the compasses are going crazy. He says they don't know where they are. He believes they're over the Gulf of Mexico, while the tower confirms they are over the Atlantic east of Florida. The last words heard from Flight 19 were about entering white water and being completely lost. Minutes later, the Navy sent a huge Mariner rescue plane with 13 crew members. 20 minutes after takeoff, it exploded in mid-air. In one night, the Navy lost 6 aircraft and 27 men. No wreckage was ever found. This is where the legend of the Bermuda Triangle was born. But here's what most people don't mention. Taylor had recently transferred to Florida. He was not familiar with the local waters. His compass was already known to be faulty before takeoff, and he refused to switch to the emergency frequency, which could have helped the tower locate him. These are facts that get buried underneath the mystery. Flight 19 wasn't the first disappearance, and it wouldn't be the last. The USS Cyclops remains the largest loss of life in U.S. Navy history outside of combat. A massive 165-meter cargo ship with 309 men on board. It vanished in March 1918 while traveling from Barbados to Baltimore. It sent no distress call. President Woodrow Wilson said only God and the sea know what happened to the ship. But what often gets left out is that the Cyclops was overloaded with manganese ore, and the seas were rough that week. A ship carrying too much weight in bad weather is not a mystery. It's a disaster waiting to happen. The SS Cotopaxi was a steamship that disappeared heading to Havana in 1925. 90 years later, around 2020, a team of divers claimed they found its wreck off the coast of Florida. But while the ship was located, no crew remains were ever recovered. The ocean had erased every human trace. For 70 years, people have tried to explain what happens here. The theories split into 2 camps, scientific and non-scientific. Start with the science. The ocean floor in this region contains methane hydrates. Minor seismic activity can release massive gas bubbles. If a ship passes over one of these eruptions, the water density drops instantly, and the ship sinks as if the sea opened a hole beneath it. If the gas rises into the atmosphere, it can reduce air density enough to cause aircraft engines to stall and crash. The area also sits where powerful ocean currents collide. The warm Gulf Stream moves at roughly 5 knots, which means it can carry any wreckage about 150 kilometers in a single day. After a week, debris can drift into the middle of the Atlantic. That is why search teams often find nothing. Rogue waves are another factor. When the warm Gulf Stream meets cold northern currents, the collision can generate waves 30 meters high. A vertical wall of water that appears from nowhere and can break the largest ships apart. Satellites confirmed their existence in 1995. Before that, Sailors who reported them were dismissed as liars. This region is also one of only 2 places on Earth where magnetic compass north aligns with true geographic north. Pilots in the past didn't know this, so they would overcorrect their course and fly in the wrong direction. This likely explains Taylor's words about the compasses not working. Then there are microbursts, violent but small-area thunderstorms that hit an aircraft with a downward blast of air at 270 kilometers per hour. In 30 seconds, a plane can be slammed into the ocean surface. The environmental factors alone are enough to explain most of what happens here. The Puerto Rico Trench, which sits within the triangle's boundaries, drops more than 27,000 feet deep. Any ship that sinks there is crushed and shattered long before it reaches the bottom. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, known as NOAA, estimates that around 1,000 ships and planes have been lost in the Bermuda Triangle over the last century. That sounds terrifying until you learn what the data actually shows. Now, the non-scientific theories. Psychic Edgar Cayce claimed that beneath the Bermuda Triangle lie energy crystals from the lost civilization of Atlantis. These crystals supposedly disrupt electronics and open time portals. Others point to UFO sighting reports in the region and suggest an underwater base is abducting ships for study. Another theory proposes a bend in space-time that occasionally opens over the triangle, transporting anything passing through it into another place or time. None of these theories have scientific backing. But let's hear the other side, because this is where the story gets interesting. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the busiest shipping and flight lanes in the world. Cruise ships, private planes, oil tankers pass through it every single day. According to multiple studies, the disappearance rate in the Bermuda Triangle is not significantly higher than in other heavily traveled regions of the ocean, like the Sea of Japan or the North Sea. The U.S. Coast Guard has confirmed this. Author Larry Kusha investigated 50 of the supposedly mysterious incidents in 1975. He found that 40 of them actually occurred outside the triangle's boundaries. The rest had clear explanations: storms, human error, or media exaggeration. Marine researcher Tony O'Leary from NOAA put it this way: the Bermuda Triangle has a reputation for unexplained disappearances, but many of the stories surrounding it are myths built from historical events. Aviation expert David H. Kelly was even more direct. He said there is no mystery about the planes and boats that vanish in the Bermuda Triangle. Nature is a far more formidable opponent than any imaginary being. And here's a detail that should settle the debate for most people. Lloyd's of London, one of the world's largest insurance firms, does not charge higher premiums for ships passing through the Bermuda Triangle, because the risk is statistically normal. If the place was truly cursed or dangerous beyond explanation, insurance companies would be the first to know. They follow the money, not the myths. Have the disappearances stopped? No. In 2017, a private MU-2B aircraft with 4 Americans vanished after taking off from Puerto Rico. Some wreckage was found, but no bodies. In 2015, the cargo ship El Faro sank near the triangle during Hurricane Joaquin. 33 people died. The black box revealed the cause: captain's error. He sailed directly into the eye of the hurricane. The triangle still claims lives, but the cause is almost always nature combined with human mistakes. As of 2023, the Bermuda Triangle remains a hot topic in popular culture. Documentaries keep being produced. Fictional movies keep being made. The fascination never fades, but rigorous research consistently points to rational explanations for what happens there. Unpredictable weather, volatile underwater features, fast currents, and deep trenches that swallow evidence before anyone can find it. The Bermuda Triangle is not a monster. It's a mirror. It reflects our fear of the unknown and our need to explain every mystery with a story. Science has accounted for the vast majority of incidents, but a small percentage remain unexplained, not because the answers don't exist, but because the ocean is 9,000 meters deep in some places, and it keeps its secrets well. Next time you fly over the Atlantic, Look out the window. The mystery might be right below you. But remember, millions of trips pass through here every year, and they arrive safely. The ocean is powerful, and it is indifferent. It doesn't need a curse to be dangerous. It just needs you to underestimate it.